This iron horse will separate the bull from what is real. It's the nature of the beast, we're riding steel. It's the nature of the beast, we're riding steel. We're riding steel.
Good morning and welcome to Ride and Steel. This is Sherry Burgoyne and we are standing outside of Mike's Water Street Grill in Gardner, Maine, where today we'll be joining other participants in the Scott Hubbard Memorial Ride. This is the second annual ride that was put together by the Fire and Iron guys in honor of Scott Hubbard. Scotty passed away a couple of years ago in a motorcycle accident, and the fund was put together to help fallen riders with their medical bills. In a few moments, we'll be talking to the organizers and to Scotty's family, so stay tuned.
Ride and Steel is brought to you in part by Iron Tail Saloon, for delicious food, good times, and a great destination for your charity ride. It's Iron Tail Saloon in Acton, Maine. Sinister Customs, from fabrication to paint, Sinister Customs can build your ride unique to your personality. Twisted Iron Customs, hot rods, motorcycles, service and storage. The Twisted Iron team can meet your needs. And Row TV, graphics, logo design, animation, website design, and much more. It's Row TV Digital Creation Studio.
When corruption rules, there's no telling what is right. The corrupted fools steal each and every night. Lustful heads held high, wicked smiles run deep, as the graves we dig for them.
Welcome back, and I'm standing here with Doug Ebert. Good morning, Doug.
Morning, Jerry. How you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. How about you?
Good. It's a beautiful day, sun shining. Scott is looking down on us, giving us another great ride.
He really is. Now, this is the second annual.
Second annual ride for Scott Hubbard. It's awesome. Good
Boy,
time.
it went by quick, huh?
Yeah, it did. A year goes by fast, especially planning this event out. It took us almost a year to plan this one. We did a little better than we did last year as far as planning wise, so good. Going to be a good time.
So tell me a little bit of what inspired this ride.
Well, Scott Hubbard inspired this ride when he crashed his motorcycle. We needed to come up with something. He was a really great friend of ours. A lot of people in the club rode with him a lot. A lot of people knew him. He was just an all-around good guy. So we figured we'd do this in his honor. Something that, you know, he'd be proud of, I think.
So we started off as a memorial ride, but then it turned into the Fallen Riders ride?
That's correct. We have a fund now that Fire and Iron Station 30 has set up to help any fallen riders that have fallen on their motorcycle and need some help. Whether it be medical expenses, deductible for their insurance for their motorcycle, bills that they need, whatever. We don't stipulate what the money has to go to as far as giving it to people. We just give them the money. Here you go. Have a great day with it, and just something from us.
So it's been around for a year now. Last year was the first ride, and since then, how many families has this fund helped?
Since we started last year, we've actually helped 6 riders. One of the events, there was a boyfriend and girlfriend on one motorcycle, so that's 2 people. So 6 people we've helped with this fund. So it's really good to see that we can do that, and you know, it makes people feel that there's a sense of caring in the community when they just, here's the check, you know, don't worry about it, don't worry about where it came from, just this is for you guys.
And knowing Scott, he would have backed you up 100%.
100%. He would have been right here. He would have probably been in the front of the line with all of us every ride. So it's really
I
good.
do remember Scott, and he was so fun, and he had so much fun with these rides, and he hung out with all of us and kept up with us, and boy, did we played hard.
Exactly. We play hard, and you know, we try and keep it safe, and hopefully today is going to be a safe ride. You know, we don't want any trouble. We just want to have a good time and raise some money.
So if somebody had gone down on their bikes, how would they be nominated to receive some of these funds?
Usually with the group of guys that we have and the people that we hang around with, we hear about someone that's gone down, and they really don't even have to come and ask us. We hear about it, we bring it to our meeting, bring it to our guys, we vote on it, and then we just give the money out. So there's really no stipulations on how to contact us for it. If they want to, if someone in the area knew of someone that went down that we don't know about, definitely it's a good idea to contact us. On the national website, which is fireandiron.com with an ampersand, just look up Station 30 in the stations. It's got all the officers' phone numbers on it and email addresses. They can contact any one of us, and we'll make sure it gets brought to the members.
What a beautiful way to honor Scott's memory.
It is a beautiful way.
And you guys do such a wonderful job with the events. I've worked with your Fire and Iron group on these events before, and it's tireless.
It is. We put a lot of work into this, and it really means a lot to us, and that's what we're about. We're here for the community, and we want to always be here for the community. So.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me today, Doug, and it looks like you've got an amazing crowd coming in, and I'm really looking forward to this ride.
Yeah, me too. So far we're up to 100 bikes. Hopefully we get a few more in. It's going to be hard to beat last year. We had a good year last year. I think we're pretty close. So.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for talking to me.
No problem, Sherry, and always watch Riding Steel.
I serve as chaplain for this group, and we're really glad you're here. It's a great cause, saving lives and remembering lives. Let us pray together. Our Heavenly Creator, we give you thanks for the gift of life, for each breath we take, for each sight we see, the ability to walk and move, for our friends and family, for the feelings of love, joy, sadness, and even hate. We give you thanks. This day especially remember Scott Hubbard, who died following a motorcycle crash in the summer of 2011. Scott was a friend to many, and each day enjoyed the gift of life that we are experiencing today. Today, we pray for safety on the road. As we ride, we remember others, our friends, who have passed from this life or been injured on motorcycle crashes. May the pain of loss make our love deeper, our words and thoughts kinder today. And now may the Spirit of God, the Father who created us, continue to bring us new ways of seeing life. May the Spirit of Christ inspire us to live each day with courage, insight, and conviction. And we ask the Holy Spirit that we be granted the grace and power to accomplish these things. Amen. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
When corruption rules, there's no
This is Sherry, and we are back from a beautiful ride for Scott Hubbard Memorial Ride today. And I'm standing here with Jack and Becky Fless. And look who showed up to join us just as a participant is our very own Todd Sanders. So it was awesome to have him. It was wonderful to run into a...
No riding steel attire. Sorry, Steve.
But what an amazing day it's been. The rain has held off. It's been a beautiful day.
Gorgeous ride. Gorgeous ride.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about organ donation. Jack, tell me what you do with organ donation.
I'm a volunteer for Donate Life, which is an organization, national organization that helps to promote awareness for organ donations, either from living donors or from those who have died. So I help promote awareness.
Now, what do you do for Donate?
I support. I do the same thing. Support Donate Life. Go to functions. Do everything I can to get the word out about. I'll be manning the table today to get the word out about donating organs and just supporting.
Now, talking about organ donation is very important today because Scotty was an organ donor, and at his passing, his parents decided to take, the tragedy that happened to Scott to turn it around into a positive meaning and save a lot of people's lives. Now, tell me about the statistics that you know about.
Right now, there are 100,000 people on a waiting list to receive an organ transplant. I myself had a liver transplant a year before Scotty's accident. The donor was my daughter, then age 18, the youngest donor in the United States to date. Scotty, I was with him as chaplain to Fire and Iron. I was with the family in the hospital. The chances for Scotty's survival didn't look good, and together we talked about this possibility. And Scotty has, it's been incredible the number of people that he has saved their lives through his generous gift.
Now, there are so many people out there who are in need of organ transplants, and the need is just, it exceeds what is there.
Oh, absolutely. We need to promote awareness, and it is an increasing phenomena. I went over to one of the booths here today. I noticed that they're giving the proceeds from their booth entirely to the Fallen Rider Fund. I got talking to the two girls who are running it, and they're waiting for their dad to have a liver transplant sometime later this summer. So the need is increasing every day. I mean, there's just a huge need, and we need to spread the awareness. I didn't know much about it till I got sick, and I needed a liver, and it saved my life. I would not be here today, but for the gift my daughter gave me.
And the beauty of a liver is it regenerates itself, correct?
Yeah, right. Let Becky can tell you about that.
Tell me about that, Becky.
On cue.
It grows back really quickly. In about 3 weeks, it grows back to its normal functioning size. It may not grow back to the same size that it was when you started, but it will grow back to what you need it to be. Most people have more of a liver than they need, and it grows back very quickly. There's very little risk long-term. There's no long-term risk to a donor, and you can donate more than one time.
No kidding, I didn't know that.
It's true, yes. And the other important thing to know about not just liver donation, but kidney donation, you don't have to be dead to donate. And I do think that's a new thought for people to realize and take in, is that you can actually donate parts of your body while you're still alive and save life. Kidneys, livers, skin can be grafted and then grow back. So there are different things that can be.
Can I ask one question too?
I'm going to hand over the mic to you, Todd, so you can just go ahead and ask what you need to ask.
I'll do that then. Thank you, Sherry. You mentioned the need, and I know I'm an organ donor. Jamie's an organ donor, and I know we would encourage people out there to be organ donors. And we think that we heard about all these organs that were donated from Scott, and all the people that impacted. So I'm afraid that people out there will think, well, there's enough organs. The thing is, it's not only a liver is not a liver, or a kidney is not a kidney. If I'm not mistaken, the organ donated has to be compatible for the person that will be receiving it. So can you tell us a little bit about the compatibility piece?
There's a whole process that they go through. Doctors are on alert across the country looking for organs, and then when a death is reported or someone volunteers to be a living donor, everything is scanned and made sure that it will be a proper match and everything will be taken care of. And Scott's organs, that very day after he died, his lungs were breathing in another person, his heart was beating in another person's chest, one kidney was given to one person, another to another, bone tissue was donated, a man received a cornea, and his sight was restored. So many gifts can come from one life, but more people are definitely needed because there's a shortage.
And I think it's difficult for people watching that may not be an organ donor, maybe wrestling with because when you hear what you just said,
right.
You know, it makes us accept our own mortality, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
And accidents happen, unfortunately. You never know how much time you have.
Right.
So if you could just, you know, if a donation on your part could lead to a much longer, healthier life for someone and the impact it would have with their loved ones, I think if you can look beyond the picture of your own mortality, that's the way you got to look at it.
Yeah, I think that's what I would call an eternal perspective. And what is life really all about? But to connect, help, and love others. And a donation at a time of death in a very difficult circumstance is tremendously rewarding.
Anything else you want to add?
Just that as far as donation goes, for liver, it's not a tissue match, it's a blood type. So if your blood type matches and it's approximate size, then that can be a very positive and good thing. All the others are tissue matches. It's much more complicated.
If somebody watching is on the fence, they thought about it, they're not sure. Hopefully, the information that you shared has pushed them to the other side of the fence. But where could they go? Is there a website or an organization they could go to get more information about? Where would that be?
Yes, they should just simply Google Donate Life, and everything is there. I have materials here, but they're easy to get in touch with.
Thank you. I'm going to turn the mic back to the host.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you, Todd. It was fun seeing you today, and thank you so much for all the information you've shared with us.
You're welcome, Sherry.
Happy to do it.
Thank you.
It saved our life.
And we should also compliment Fire and Iron for a great ride. You may have already done that, but great poker run.
They have done an amazing job. They usually, I don't know how they do it, but they have such amazing events, and the participation that they gather up is unbelievable.
And right now, Dan Willett, cameraman, key grip, best boy, whatever he is for riding, still has a full house. Aces over 10, so we'll see if that holds up in the poker hand.
Yeah, I didn't win. I was pretty unhappy about that.
Oh, darn it. Thanks, Sherry.
Thank you. This is Sherry. We are at the Scott Hubbard Memorial Ride, and I'm standing here with Lee and Kathy Murphy. These people may actually look very familiar to you. They've done several rides themselves. Kathy, today we've been talking a lot about organ donation. Now, tell me what it's like to be on the waiting list for an organ donor.
It's very hard. It's very long.
Now, your son, Sean,
Yes.
he is on the waiting list for an organ donation.
Yes, he's in Boston, and he's been on the list since January. And Boston said they do about 36 lung transplants a year, and they've only done 9 right now, and they say Sean needs lungs real soon. They want us to go to Cleveland. They're going to check Ohio. They're going to want us to go to Ohio. They're going to check New York. They're checking right now. They're in the process of checking different states.
Now, what exactly does Sean have?
Sean has cystic fibrosis, and it's affecting his lungs. Right now, he is down to 14% breathing, and it's like if you blocked your nose and breathe through a straw, that's what Sean is doing right now, and he needs lungs.
Is cystic fibrosis something that you're born with?
Yes, it's hereditary. I'm a carrier, and both parents have to be a carrier, and Sean got the gene out of both of us.
How old is Sean now?
34.
So when did you realize that he needed new lungs?
At the age of 2.
Really?
Yes, at the age of 2. If I knew what cystic fibrosis was all about, you would know that he had cystic fibrosis because all the symptoms led to it. He had runny stools. He tastes salty when you kiss him. His fingernails club over, and he had a cold all winter long. All the time he had a cold. Got pneumonia, colds, and whenever he ate any dairy products, he would vomit projectile. And so that was the signs for cystic fibrosis.
I had no idea that there were actually signs that you could look for.
And I didn't either at the time. Yeah.
So that's very important for everybody to realize that there are signs that you can look for. Lee, what were you going to say?
It's very simple test to test a child for CF. It's a salt test. That's all it is. They yeah, swab the skin, and it's a salt count, and that's a very simple test, and a lot of doctors don't do that.
Now it's mandatory when a child is born now, because we got it on the legislation, that when a child is born, they automatically do that.
No kidding, that's wonderful. You actually helped get that put into law?
Yes, yes. And all of us that with children with CF, we all fought that. And it's a great start. I mean, cystic fibrosis is not a nice disease, but if you get caught on it really soon, it's much better for the child.
Back to the reason Boston hasn't done but only 9 or 10 lung transplants, the good organs just aren't there. You know, it's a shame to say that somebody has to die for him to live. But that's life in general. Is not a good way to put it, but that's the facts of life. And they don't have, the people that are passing are full of drugs. And it's very difficult. You know, he needs a match, first of all, and he needs a good set of lungs, and he needs both the lungs, the complete lungs. He can't use just a lobe. His lungs are gone. I mean, to him, he tells us all the time, I feel great. You know, physical strength-wise, I can't breathe. And to see him, he's always been hockey, baseball, softball, football. To see that young man not being able to play his sports.
People will see Sean and they'll say, hey Sean, how you doing? He said, I just need new lungs. Give me a pair of lungs, I'll be fine. Yeah. So that's what we're waiting for. So that's why it's very important for everybody to put on their license that they want to just donate their organs.
So we've talked about the fundraisers that you've been having throughout the years for Sean. Do you have any idea how much it costs to give a pair of lungs to Sean?
Just to have the surgery itself is $647,000 just to do the surgery. So, but we're nowhere near that. But you know what? When lungs come available, I don't care. We'll get them. We'll get it.
You know, and that's just it. When you have a child, you cannot put a price on that child's life. I don't care, right?
Right. You got that right. Yeah.
How much of that does insurance cover?
Right now, that's why we're having problems with Ohio, because they can't put Sean on a lung transplant list because he's supposed to be on Medicare disability, and he's not on that yet. It's going to take, it better not take 2 years to get on it. That's all I got to say. You know?
It's basically, it's all this red tape and it's all the bureaucratic, you know, politics that goes on. And yes. I mean, I don't even know how to say how I feel about that. Well, but
he's on main care. He has been. He never could get a job where they would have full benefits. And you know, it's just. Being on main care is great. It's helped him, you know, with his hospital bills. But other states see that this state owes $240 million to other hospitals within this state. They're not going to accept him. You know, it's a shame to say that money will allow somebody to die, but that's what could happen.
You know, and that is what's really maddening about, you know, when you look at politics and you look at what's going on in this country with the insurance and all of that. You know, this person is a living, breathing, positive contributor to society, and yet he has to be penalized because he lives in the wrong state, basically. I mean, I don't understand how that works.
No.
My understanding is if he lived in Connecticut, as a resident in Connecticut. Now, I may be completely wrong, but this is what we've been told. It would be completely taken care of. Terminal disease. That's what it is.
Well, let's all move to Connecticut.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Lee and Kathy, for talking to us, you know, so intimately about Sean. And as a parent, I really want to send out our support to Lee and Kathy, and let's do what we can to support the Murphys and get some lungs for Sean.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Todd, I've got to say that this has been an incredibly informative day.
They always are. I mean, that's the one thing I say, you know, and like I said, I came today just to be a participant. I have to applaud you, Riding Steel hosts, and the outstanding job you do. No, it always is. It's an interest. You always learn something new, and you, in addition to the informational piece or what we learn from it, it's the personal connections that people have, and it doesn't matter who you talk to. I know there was Jack Fless was talking about the small world it is. It's just amazing how much organ donation, for example, or any of the other rides that we cover, they just touch everybody's life in some way, and you may not even realize it.
Well, that's just it. I mean, I didn't realize how many people could be benefited from one person's tragedy. It just went on to save, I don't even know how many lives.
He rattled off probably 10 names up there when he was speaking, and I don't know if that's the extent of it. So it's amazing, you know, the gift of life. It's just an incredible thing.
And those that weren't affected by his donation, I understand that he actually sent some to science.
Well, and I heard that, I think it was the pancreas they said about research. So who knows what, you know, benefits that may have as far as you know, vaccinations or cures for pancreatic diseases. Pancreatic cancer, which is, we're here at the Water Street Grill, and Mike's Pancreatic Cancer Run has always originated from here, and pancreatic cancer is one of the most aggressive forms of cancer there are. So you know, who knows what research or what the positive outcomes may be from that. So whether it's a person that's alive or whether it's someone that may save a life down the road, I mean, it's just incredible.
It really is, and I never realized the importance of organ donations. I've always had it on my license.
You know, and I have, and it just seemed like a good idea at the time. You never really, it's just one of those things you don't know about, but I've always been an organ donor, but not realizing the impact that it has, the wide range impact that it has. So it's you know, I encourage anybody out there that's not an organ donor to think about doing that. And if you're on the fence, like we said earlier, hopefully what you've heard today, the positive stories that you've heard, the positive impacts will sway you to do that.
I agree totally, and I just really want to say thank you to everybody who has been here today to support this worthy cause. So for more information on today's ride and organ donations and any other upcoming rides, go to rideandsteel.com.
And keep watching the shows, and hopefully we'll keep you entertained and informed.
Well, thank you, Todd. I'm so glad that you chimed in, and I'm so glad that you showed up to participate, and it was a good ride.
And sometimes it's, you know, it's good just to get out and ride.
I agree. I agree. So thank you so much for watching Ride and Steel.
Ride and Steel is brought to you in part by Iron Tail Saloon, for delicious food, good times, and a great destination for your charity ride. It's Iron Tail Saloon in Acton, Maine. Sinister Customs, from fabrication to paint, Sinister Customs can build your ride unique to your personality. Twisted Iron Customs, hot rods, motorcycles, service and storage. Twisted Iron team can meet your needs. And Row TV, graphics, logo design, animation, website design, and much more. It's Row TV Digital Creation Studio.